Hey, what's up? My name is Jordan Morrison, and this is episode 48 of It Is What It Is. We've come a long way. 48 episodes. As we get closer to 50, I feel like that's a really awesome milestone. And I was thinking about the podcast this last week, and I don't invest nearly as much like time and money in the podcast, And I think that is going to start to change. I invest a lot of money in my music, like in the time and like the money that I put into it. Like every week I'm meeting with different tutors and stuff for my music, and it's going a long way. It feels really good. And like music is the thing for me. Like I want to be so good at music from top to bottom. I want to be a producer. I want to be a songwriter. I want to be a singer, all of it. I think all of it is so dope, and I want to be able to do it all for myself. But the podcast is interesting because like I don't spend nearly as much time like learning how to develop it and everything. And I have a couple friends and they're really into videography and photography and production, like in that realm. And I was thinking about the podcast this last week and I'm like, should I change it up? Should I like change the style or the format or the topic? And should I like pick it up and go a different direction? And I absolutely love It Is What It Is because it allows me every week to sit here and figure out what I need to talk about, what I need to get off of my chest, what I need to talk through, what I need to work through, or like the things that happened that were funny and I want to share, or stuff going on in my life, like whatever. And it feels so good not to be tied down to like a single topic every week. So in the thought process of setting up for my podcast this week, I was thinking about all of that. And I paused for a moment and I thought about how fortunate I am to be able to have those kinds of like ideas and have those thoughts of editing or altering or making adjustments because I have something tangible. And I remember thinking about making my podcast. Like I remember like, I'm going to start my podcast and I think it's going to be about this, or I think it's going to be about that. And I remember feeling like once I get it going, I'll know exactly like what it should be about. And once I get it going, it'll be good. And once I get it going, it'll be exactly like what's in my mind. And none of that happened, which is beautiful because along the way, I've been able to say, like, do I want it to change? Do I want to like keep it the same? And the point I'm trying to make is I'm glad that I started it, and that I have something to work with now. That legit means the world to me, I swear. And I really didn't want to sit down and do a podcast right now. Right now, I wanted to be working on something else. Like I wanted to be working on a music project, or I just wanted to be like stretching or doing something else. And this is my time for the podcast. This is when I allot time to do the podcast. It's not time that I allot for stretching. It's not time that I allot for like music or whatever. It's time that I allot for the podcast. And sticking to it, sticking to the thing that I plan to do always feels so much better in the next hour, in the next day, throughout my whole week. So what I'm trying to say is do the things that you promised yourself you're going to do. Have something tangible, like have actual results that you can work with. Because I kept saying like, I want my podcast to be this kind of way. I want my podcast to look this kind of way or whatever. But I couldn't even work with anything because I didn't have anything. I didn't have any video. I didn't have any audio. So whatever your thing is, whatever you're thinking of doing, do it. If you're like, I'm going to start a garden, start gardening somewhere, in a pot, in a box, in a yard, on your grandparents' back 40. Start somewhere and do it consistently. You're going to be so much happier that you did. You're gonna be so much happier. I really can't even relate to the person that I was 2 years ago. It's funny because like people will bring up stories about, I don't know, like I said, like 2 years ago, and it's hard for me to relate. I feel like such a different person just in the last couple of years that I'm so thankful that I'm shedding and like getting rid of just like junk around me. And I'm getting rid of like the junk that consumes my days. I'm actively trying to get rid of the things that aren't good for me. I'm 3 weeks sober. I am so thankful that I realized that like alcohol was a problem in my life, and I was able to recognize it, identify it, and like give myself tangible results. 3 weeks sober, I feel so much better. And whatever it is in your life, whatever you think you should be doing, if it's going to benefit you, do it and then refine it and be okay that you're not perfect. I'm 3 weeks sober. Will I have a drink again in my lifetime? Yeah, I will. I've decided that I will, I'm going on a bachelor party in May. I would love to have a drink with my boy whose bachelor party it is. Why would I not? But it's about making like a conscious decision. And the conscious decision is very important. Know why you're making a decision. Don't just like drink and send it on the weekend. And this weekend, there was a lot of clarity for me around making a conscious decision and like cleaning out the clutter in my life. I'm trying to be on social media less. Genuinely, I am. I got rid of just like negative pages and negative people in my life, and it makes a world of a difference. Like, don't hold on. Don't be attached to old people, old places, old experiences. Be willing to let it go. Move on, and you're different, so be different. Allow yourself to be different, and don't feel like you owe anything from your past your current attention. Get rid of the people who aren't for your life. Don't let them hold you back. Get rid of the experiences that are holding you back. Like, forgive yourself. It's all good. And on top of it, you're just going to have more time for yourself, which is great. Who doesn't love more time for themselves, right? But yeah, this weekend, I had to really sit and like try to figure out like, why do I drink on the weekends? And what I came up with is I drink on the weekends because it allows me to dumb it down a little bit. It allows me to escape from the actual emotion that I would probably be feeling in that moment. And going out to a bar with halfway friends and drinking just suppressed the fact that I don't like being alone, Like I want to be seen, I want to be validated and all that kind of stuff. And this weekend really like shined a light on that for me. This weekend I was out just, having dinner, sitting at a bar, not drinking alcohol, and I was crazy self-conscious. I was so worried about like how people were perceiving me that I couldn't even enjoy silence in a meal with myself. That's crazy. That's something that I would love to work on. I would love to understand like, what is it about me that feels insecure in sitting alone and having a meal by myself? Why can't I just enjoy some quiet company, just me and a meal? I'm so worried about like other people looking at me and thinking like I'm damaged, I'm alone, that nobody wants to be with me in that moment. Those are the things that I'm worried about when I could be just enjoying the time that I have. So all of that to say, that if you're running from the right decision, if you keep evading the thing you need to do, and you keep numbing it with alcohol and drugs and whatever other distractions you have, it's still there, It's still there, and you're gonna you're going to beat yourself up. You're going to beat yourself up in a lot of different ways. You're going to tear your body down drinking like crazy. And like, the reason I'm sharing this is because I went through it. I experienced how bad it sucks to have hangovers that last 2 days. And the best part about not drinking is your weekends last way longer. My weekends now seem like actual weekends. When I would get drunk on a Friday night, all of a sudden it's Sunday and I'm still trying to recover from a hangover. Not drinking on the weekends is the biggest flex. I'm so much more happy spending my time doing the things that I like to do that make me happy. Like getting outside, the weather's getting nice. I love being outside just to walk. Thank goodness I can enjoy this amazing weather outside now. It's tough when you don't live in California and the weather is brutal. When it's cold, damn, don't want to go outside. But do the things that you need to do. Get outside, go for a walk, stretch, do all those things, and do them when you say you're going to do them. Hence why we're here with this podcast, right? So there's my little rant to begin episode 48. Not really sure if any of it made sense, but I did my best to connect the dots and share the information. So hope you appreciate it. Also, this weekend, I had an epiphany. I feel like I say epiphany all the time. I feel like I want to put it on record right now that Tom Brady is going to come back. Tom Brady's coming back to football, and he's going to make sure that Patrick Mahomes knows who daddy is. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady took a year off. He got faster. I don't know if y'all saw that video, but he beat his 40 time from when he was like 22 years old at like 46 or something, however old he is, 43. He took a year off, let his body heal, and he's coming back, and he is going to be slanging that pigskin up and down the field on Mr. Patty Mahomes. So I'm calling it right now, return of TB12. I don't know. I feel it. Must be something in the air, maybe something in the water, but it's got me going. It's got me going for show. What else? I recently made it back to yoga, and I love yoga. I feel like there's tons of good benefits from yoga. Getting that body all stretched, getting that body all sweaty, listening to good music. There's something that I can't really describe about the vibe of yoga. I love it. I love being around other yogis. They're cool people. They're always on like a wave. They're always like namaste, bow kind of vibe. Wish they would wear more deodorant, but it's cool. I like doing yoga. But it gets back to the like me being in my head and me being insecure. I was insecure at the restaurant, insecure at yoga as well. Because when I go to yoga, I feel like everyone's looking at me like, oh, this guy's here alone because he's single. And the reason he's single is because him and his ex broke up and she got him into yoga. So that's why he's here alone at yoga. And I hate that their assumptions are right. So yeah, that's why I hate going to yoga alone. Because what guy gets into yoga without a girl dragging him to yoga? That's how it starts. I'm thankful that it started that way. I'm thankful that that happened to me for sure. But do I hate that everyone's assumptions of like, yep, this guy's here doing yoga because him and his ex used to do yoga? Yeah, I hate that. But also my downward dog is hitting right now. It's hitting. Because I'll be getting in there and I'll be stretching and I'll be sweating and I'll be listening to good music, and yoga's a vibe. I just hate feeling like people are judging me. And you know what's weird is in my head, I'm making it out to like, oh, they're judging me. those people are judgy people when in fact they're probably great people who don't even give two shekels that I'm at yoga alone. Didn't even cross their mind. They didn't even notice me. They're busy worried about their downward dog, you know? So I'm really trying to figure out like, why am I the way I am? You know? So reached out to a therapist, starting that stuff tomorrow. So I hope that guy's ready. Hopefully he's done his homework hopefully he's checked out the pod, listened to some of the music, who knows? But yeah, I was in my head at dinner, in my head at yoga. And I guess what that's telling me is I need more meditation in my life, but who knows? I don't know. I saw some crazy video of Donald Trump. Like every video of Donald is just incredible. That man is a comedic genius. He was talking crap on Fannie Willis and how she, or whatever that woman's name is, how she was having a relationship with a lawyer that she paid like $1 million to or whatever. She called him like 2,000 times or something, 200 times, text him like 2,000 times, something like that. And Donald Trump starts clowning. He's like, I don't even call my wife that much. Like, of course they were having a relationship. You got to be absolutely unhinged to be saying that you don't call your wife, like bragging about the fact that you don't hit up your wife. Like, Donald, we get it. We know why you're married, you know. We know why you're married to a model. But don't brag about the fact that you don't call her. Come on, my guy. Donald Trump, 2024. It's incredible. He is on a historic run. It's so dope to watch this man just 9-0 in the Supreme Court. Crazy numbers he's throwing up right now. Donald Trump is like MJ in his prime. The dude is just wrecking shop. Like the league was fining Michael for his shoes. Here's the corrupt judicial system trying to fine Donald Trump. Like he's swagging, releasing his own shoes. I'm telling you, the relationship between MJ in his prime and Donald Trump in his prime is crazy. They both got their own sneakers. They're both getting racially profiled. They're both very highly successful, good at what they do, just can't lose. Savage mentalities. I'm telling you. Donald Trump 2024. That man is great. He's awesome. He's funny, he's smart, he's strong, he's intelligent, everything. That man's great. He really is. So shout out to Donald. Yeah. I am going to start reading tonight The Alchemist. It'll be like the third time I've read The Alchemist, I think. And shout out to the person who gave me The Alchemist as a book for the first time. You know who you are. I appreciate you. But The Alchemist is one of my favorite books ever. And somebody gave me advice to read The Alchemist throughout like different stages of my life. And I'm really excited to read it again because the last time I read it, I was like, yo, it's almost like a completely different book. So really excited to crack that one open. It's a quick read, so I highly recommend it to anyone who can get their hands on The Alchemist. If you can't, hit me up. I'll let you borrow my copy. That's a good book. What else is a good book? I was just recently talking about The Untethered Soul. I think that book is so amazing. That book changed my life. So if you can get your hands on The Untethered Soul and read that bad boy, it's a quick read. That'll do some damage for you. I tell you what. It's a great book. It's a great read. Closing thoughts here. I've been eating way more red meat. I've been eating like 3 ribeyes a week. And I feel so good. There is something about the carnivore diet that I really think that I might have to give it a try. Because the more red meat that I eat, the better I feel. Like the bigger I'm getting, the stronger I'm getting in the gym, the like more clear-headed I am. Something about it. Something about it. Some of y'all didn't watch Boy Meets World when you were a kid growing up, and it shows. Y'all ain't got that Mr. Feeney advice up in you, or Mr. Matthews. Y'all ain't got it. Y'all ain't got like a Sean best friend. I was kind of the Sean growing up, I feel like. I feel like in my neighborhood, with my friends and everything, I was the Sean, which we'll get into one day as well. You know, like why I felt like that as a kid, why I made some major mistakes and things like that, you know, but I started putting on a couple episodes of Boy Meets World every once in a while just to really center me, ground me, remind me of the things I was taught when I was younger, the things that I was raised on, you know. Boy Meets World was a classic 90s TV show. If you haven't seen it, you can catch it on Disney Plus. It might be the only show on Disney Plus worth watching. But Boy Meets World, that's where it's at. Corey Matthews, unforgettable life lessons. Topanga, are you kidding me? It was like my first love. Topanga still looks good to this day. When they remade Boy Meets World, and they call it like Girl Meets World or whatever, and they had Topanga up in that, and she was looking so fine. Boy Meets World. What other shows did I watch that changed my life? The one that Shia LaBeouf was in. What was he in? He was in, gosh dang it, this is going to drive me over a ledge, boy. I tell you what. What was he in? He was in, Shia LaBeouf was in, I want to say it's obviously not Malcolm in the Middle because that was its own show. Shia LaBeouf was in, what TV show was that? It was called, dude, I'm going to lose my mind right now. He had the older sister. I don't know, dude. I'm going to have to look it up after this. Dang it. Anyways, Boy Meets World, whatever Shia LaBeouf was in. And what else did I watch? Rocket Power. Rocket Power was so sick. Rocket Power, I would say HE double hockey sticks before I could spell. I didn't even know what that meant. HE double hockey sticks. Rocket Power was undefeated. And the cool thing about Rocket Power was like, I grew up on the beach, so I called people shoobies. I'd be like, oh, shoobie. So Rocket Power was cool. What else was cool? The Bill Cosby Show before he got, you know, I think we can all agree that the Bill Cosby Show was great, minus the things he was doing post-scene, you know. But everything like in bounds, Bill Cosby crushed it with that show, for sure, for sure. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I wish we could get that Will Smith back. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, one of the all-time best TV shows ever. Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil is the epitome of like a positive male role model. Uncle Phil. That's how we're ending episode 48. Shout out to Uncle Phil. He's the man. Uncle Phil, rest in peace. Uncle Phil, appreciate you, man. That was a solid performance. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Uncle Phil, can't be topped. And that's how we're ending episode 48. Thank y'all for joining. Go watch an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you know. Shout out Uncle Phil. Bye.